There are moments in time when the universe goes silent, not because nothing is happening, but because everything is about to change. March 25th and March 26th are not just ordinary days. They are a threshold, a doorway between who you were and who you are about to become. Throughout March 2026, the universe has been preparing you. First, it asked you to slow down, to reflect, to question, to release. The early March eclipse forced people to face truth, to let go of perfectionism, and to release what no longer serves them. Then something shifted. The energy moved from emotional confusion to fire. By March 20, the sun entered Aries, and everything began to accelerate. And now, you stand at the edge of March 25-26, where the energy is no longer asking, it is demanding. Most people believe that life changes in big, obvious moments, the kind you can point to and say, that's when everything changed. But the truth is, those moments are rare. Real change does not usually arrive with clarity or certainty. It begins quietly, almost invisibly. It begins in your thoughts, in your emotions, in the conversations you have with yourself when no one else is around. It begins in the small decisions you make when there is no pressure, no audience, no recognition. These 2 days are not about sudden external miracles or instant transformations that the world can see. They are about something much deeper, an internal awakening, a shift in awareness, a moment where you begin to see yourself, your life, and your direction more honestly than before. They bring you face to face with your truth, even the parts you have been avoiding, ignoring, or postponing. The uncomfortable truths, the quiet realizations, the questions you have pushed aside because you were not ready to answer them. And the deeper truth is this: your life is not waiting to change someday in the future when everything is perfect and you feel completely ready. It is waiting for you to make a decision now, in this moment, exactly as you are, with all your doubts and uncertainties. If you take a moment to reflect on the past few weeks, you may start to notice a pattern. Things may have felt slower than usual, heavier, or even confusing. Situations that once felt clear may have become uncertain. Plans you were confident about may not have worked out the way you expected. You may have felt stuck at times, as if something was holding you back without a clear reason. You may have been forced to pause when all you wanted to do was move forward. And in those pauses, something deeper began to surface. You may have started questioning your path, your purpose, your choices, or even your identity. You may have asked yourself whether you are truly living the life you want, or simply following a path that feels familiar. And in those moments, it is easy to assume that something is going wrong, that you are falling behind, that you are losing direction. But what if nothing was going wrong? What if everything was unfolding exactly as it needed to? What if these delays, these confusions, these moments of stillness were not obstacles, but preparation? Because before life moves you forward in a meaningful way, it often slows you down. It forces you to stop, to reflect, to notice what you have been too busy to see. Before clarity arrives, there is always a phase of uncertainty, a phase where nothing feels stable, where answers are unclear, where you are asked to sit with questions instead of rushing towards solutions. And before you step into something new, you are always asked to release what no longer belongs in your life, even if you are not fully ready to let it go. Letting go is not easy. In fact, it is one of the most difficult things a person can do. It requires honesty, courage, and a willingness to face discomfort. You are not just letting go of situations or people, you are letting go of a version of yourself. A version that once made sense, that once felt safe, that once fit the life you were living. You are releasing old habits that kept you comfortable, even if they no longer help you grow. You are releasing old patterns, of thinking that once protected you, but now limits you. You are releasing identities you have carried for years, identities that shaped how you see yourself and how you believe the world sees you. And that process can feel deeply uncomfortable. It can feel like losing control. It can feel like everything you once relied on is no longer stable. There may be moments where it feels like everything is falling apart, like nothing is certain anymore. But in reality, it is not falling apart, it is falling into place. You are being prepared for something different, something that requires a new version of you. You are being reshaped, realigned, and redirected in ways you may not fully understand yet. And even though it feels uncertain, it is leading you somewhere meaningful. As March 25th approaches, the energy begins to shift more strongly and more noticeably. What once felt quiet and reflective now becomes more direct, more intense, and more difficult to ignore. It is no longer just about thinking or feeling, it becomes about action, about movement, about making choices that have real impact. You may feel a growing urge to do something, to change something, to step out of a situation that no longer feels right, or to move towards something that has been calling you for a long time. This energy does not wait for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment does not exist. It does not ask you to have everything figured out, because clarity often comes after you take the first step, not before. It simply asks for courage. The kind of courage that does not eliminate fear, but moves forward despite it. The kind of courage that allows you to act even when you are uncertain, even when you are unsure of the outcome. It asks you to stop waiting for external validation, to stop looking for permission, and to start trusting yourself, to start doing, even if the steps are small, even if they feel imperfect, even if they feel uncomfortable. And this is where everything begins to change. Not because the world suddenly transforms around you, but because you begin to transform within it. Because the moment you choose to act, even in a small way, you shift your direction. You break the pattern of waiting. You step out of hesitation and into possibility. And once that shift happens, nothing remains the same. And this is where many people hesitate. This is the exact point where everything could change. And yet, most people choose to stay where they are. Not because they don't want a better life, but because when real change begins, it does not feel peaceful, it feels uncertain, unfamiliar, and sometimes even overwhelming. It shakes your sense of control. You may begin to doubt yourself in ways you haven't before. You may question your decisions, your direction, and even your own abilities. You may feel like you are stepping into the unknown without a clear map, without guidance, without any guarantee that things will work out. And that feeling can be terrifying. It can make you want to go back, to return to what is comfortable, predictable, and known. But what you need to understand is this: that feeling is not a sign that you are making the wrong choice. It is a sign that you are stepping beyond your limits, that you are entering a space where growth becomes possible. Because growth is not comfortable. It was never meant to be. It is not predictable. It does not follow a straight path, and it certainly does not come with guarantees. Growth comes with risk. It comes with vulnerability. It requires you to let go of certainty and step into possibility. And most importantly, it requires you to trust yourself, even when you don't have all the answers, even when the path ahead is unclear, even when your mind is filled with doubt. During these days, you may notice something shifting within you, a deeper awareness, a stronger connection to your inner voice, the one that often gets drowned out by noise, distractions, and the expectations of others. Suddenly, that voice becomes clearer, more persistent, harder to ignore. Thoughts and realizations may begin to surface in a way they haven't before. You may start to see your life, your relationships, your choices, and your direction with a new level of clarity. Not the kind of clarity that feels comfortable, but the kind that feels honest, raw, real. You may begin to recognize patterns that have been repeating in your life. You may notice where you have been settling, where you have been holding back, where you have been choosing comfort over truth. And sometimes that clarity can be deeply uncomfortable because it asks something from you. It asks you to be honest with yourself in ways you may have avoided. It asks you to admit what is no longer working, what no longer fulfills you, what no longer aligns with who you are becoming. And that kind of honesty can feel heavy. It can feel confronting. But it is also powerful, because the moment you become truly honest with yourself is the moment real change begins. It is the moment you stop living on autopilot and start making conscious choices about your life. There is a question hidden within this moment, a question that has been quietly building beneath the surface, waiting for the right time to be heard. And now, it is here. Clear, direct, and impossible to ignore. Are you ready to step into your power? Not at some perfect point in the future when everything makes sense, when all your fears disappear, when you finally feel completely ready, but right now, in this moment, exactly as you are, with your doubts, your fears, your uncertainties, and your imperfections. Because the truth is, you may never feel fully ready. There will always be reasons to wait, reasons to delay, reasons to stay where things feel safe and familiar. Your mind will always find a way to justify staying the same. But there comes a point in every person's life where staying the same becomes more painful than changing, where the discomfort of not growing becomes greater than the fear of the unknown. And when you reach that point, something shifts. You realize that waiting is no longer an option, that continuing as you are is no longer enough. And this moment, these days, represent that shift. March 25th and 26th are not here to comfort you. They are not here to make things easy or predictable. They are here to awaken you, to shake you out of routine, to break the patterns that have been keeping you stuck. They are here to remind you that your life will not change simply by thinking about change, wishing for change, or waiting for the right time. Your life changes the moment you decide to act, the moment you choose to do something differently. And that action does not have to be big or dramatic. It does not have to be perfect. Even a small step can create a powerful shift. Even a single decision, one moment of courage, can alter the direction of your entire life. Because every big change begins with something small. What matters is not the size of the action, but the willingness to take it. The willingness to move forward despite fear. The willingness to trust that something will unfold, even if you cannot see it yet. So instead of waiting for the perfect moment, begin to understand that the perfect moment does not exist. It never has. There will always be uncertainty, always be risk, always be reasons to hesitate. But there will also always be opportunity. Opportunity to grow, to change, to become more than you are right now. So instead of asking for certainty, choose courage. Instead of searching for guarantees, choose faith in yourself. Instead of holding on to what feels safe but limiting, allow yourself to move toward what feels true, even if it is unfamiliar, even if it challenges you. Because deep down, beyond all the noise and doubt, you already know what needs to change. You already know what you have been avoiding. You already know what you truly want. And this moment is not here to give you new answers. It is here to give you the strength to act on the answers you already have. One day, You will look back at this time, and you will see it differently. You will recognize it not as just another moment in your life, but as a turning point. A moment where something shifted within you. Not because everything suddenly became clear or easy, but because you made a choice. A choice to move forward instead of staying stuck. A choice to trust yourself instead of doubting everything. A choice to believe, even in a small way, that something better is possible for you. And that choice, no matter how small it feels right now, carries more power than you realize. Because once you make that choice, you begin to change. And as you change, your life begins to change with you. So when these days arrive, do not ignore the feeling within you. Do not distract yourself with noise, with routine, with things that pull you away from what you are feeling. Sit with it. Pay attention to it. Try to understand what it is telling you. Because that feeling is not random. It is guidance. It is your inner self trying to communicate something important. Let it guide you, even if you don't fully understand it yet. Because the universe is not trying to confuse you or make things harder for you. It is trying to wake you up. It is trying to show you what you are capable of. It is trying to remind you that you are stronger than your fears, more capable than your doubts, and more prepared than you believe yourself to be. This is your moment. Not later, not someday when everything feels easier, but now, while it is real, while it is uncertain, while it is asking something of you. And the question is not whether this moment has the power to change your life, because it does. The real question is whether you are willing to change with it. Whether you are willing to step forward, even with fear in your heart, and say, I am ready.